after entering the data and performing calculations, it is very important to format the cells. In this case, I have created a small piece of data on which we are going to format the cells to make it a more attractive report for people to whom we are about to send this report. In this case, you can see this is the title of the report, but right now it is not coming correctly. So in this case, what I want is that I should select the cells and I want to merge it through. So in this case, I have selected it and you can see that merge and center option. There are a lot of options that you can see over here, merge across, merge cells, but right now I want to go with merge and center. When I click on it, you can see the impact over here. And then as it's a title, I need to change few things in it. For example, the font style that you can change. For example, right now I can go with Arial. If I choose it, now it's a heading, so I should also increase the font size. And let me increase it to 16. And right now I can put it bold and italic. I'm not sure that we are going to put it italic because it's a title, and an underline is also not required. You can also increase or decrease the size using these A's. This is to increase it and this is to decrease it. And the cell, you can see right now we can change the color also. We can give a color, but it's a professional advice that I can give you. Do not assign those very highlighted color or very bright color. If you want to use the color, always use a very light color, or you do not use a color. Always try to avoid it. For example, I can go with this very light color, and now you can see that these are the headings of this report. So I'll select it and I click on bold itself. I'm not going to increase the font size, but I'll put it bold to stand it apart. Do the same thing for this also. I'll bold it. The shortcut for this is Control B, which is a universal shortcut. And in this case, I want to put a grid over here. So I'll select this whole data and I'll put a border over it. You can see a lot of options are coming in this border. We'll go with all border. I'll click on it and here we go. You can see the impact. Now I'll select this whole data, and in place of putting it on the left, either on the left or right align, what I'll do, I'll put it a center align. Now you will see the difference and it'll look pretty good. In the end, what we'll do, we'll select the whole table and we'll put another border, which is a thick border. It's all up to you. Formatting is all up to you, but it's just a few things that makes pretty graceful about this. You can also change the font color if you want, but I obviously always go with this black one because that's pretty much professional as compared to other different colors. You can also change the direction or orientation of this. You can see it, you can change it also. A lot of things are available. As and when you can see, for example, if I change it to products from India, and if I press enter, you can see that it's not coming in this cell. In that case, either I expand the width as we have discussed earlier also, but somehow the problem is that the width of B column is pretty much big as compared to the rest of the columns, which is kind of not symmetrical. So I'll undo is by pressing Ctrl Z, and in this case what I'll do, I'll increase the width of this row by clicking on it and dragging it a bit down. And now as I'm standing on this cell, I'll click on this wrap text. When I click on it, it'll fit in this particular cell. And now there's again not symmetrical things that you can see that this is filled and these are a bit empty and these are down aligned. So what I'll do, I'll select it in total and I'll click on this middle align. So now it is looking pretty much good as compared to earlier formatting. Now this is one way to do it. Else, if you want to change the width of the column or a row, we have a direct options which are available under these cells group and format. You can see this row width. If I click on it, you can actually assign a number to it. For example, right now it is 20.25. So let me change it to 22. And if I press OK, you can see it will increase. So these are the ways that you can use. Apart from that, as we have formatted it manually, we do have already predefined styles under the styles and cell styles. You can see different styles available and you can choose any title style if you are looking for this. It will save a bit of time, but I really prefer to go it by my way. Else you can choose these headings also. These are also good, no issues with that. Different colors are also available, and you can actually create a new style that you have created and save it over here for future use. The other way is that you can actually select the data like this, and we have a direct formatting as a table styles. If I click on it, you can see a lot of styles are there. If I choose any one style like this, if I press OK, you can see that a table is formed by Excel itself. Thank you. Formatting cells and columns is different from formatting a number, which is very important part of Excel. In this video, we're going to emphasize on this part. If you look at this data, we do have a lot of numbers with us. And these are numbers, we cannot say that what are these. These are amount, these are units, or what are they. That's why formatting is really very important. So for example, we click on this number and I want that this is actually an amount. So in this case, I want to change it to a currency. So right now you can see this dollar sign. We have to look at this number group. And in this case, in this drop down, you can see it is journal right now. And if I want, I can change it to a currency also. When I change it, it'll show me a dollar sign. But maybe I don't want this dollar sign. I want an Indian rupee currency. So either I right click on this and click on format cells. This is one way. Or I can click on this launcher. Or I can also press a shortcut which is Control-1 on your keyboard. It'll open up this format cells dialog box. In this case, if I click on this, as we are into the currency part, we click on it, and if I press I, I'll go to INR, which is Indian rupee. If I press OK, it will change into INR this. Now, as I have formatted this cell, I can see that decimal places are pretty much back. So I want to remove these decimal places also through these arrow keys. If I click on this, this is to decrease it. If I click on this, this is to increase it. So let me decrease these. And after that, I want this formatting to all of these numbers. So instead of doing it again and again, what I can do is, there is one very important part of this option is available in whole MS Office, this format painter. Under the home tab, clipboard group, format painter. When I'm standing on this and I want to copy only the format of this cell, not the actual value. So I'll click on it, I'll click it once, and you can see that a brush is coming with this cursor. And when I click somewhere else, that formatting will get copied. Now I want it on all these cells, so I'll click on it and I'll drag it like this, and you can see that it is changed in these. Let me do it for these cells also, the rest of the cells like this. And let me increase the width of these columns. And now you can see that after every click, that option is going away. So there is one way to do that, is when I click on it, I press double click on it, then I can do it multiple times instead of one time. And when I press escape on my keyboard, that option will go away. Now let me calculate it. For example, percentage of total. So I'll press equal to, and I want to calculate the percentage of this pen with total. So I'll click on it, I'll divide it by the total value, and I press enter. So it is showing me this INR, which is actually not the way, it is a percentage. So I don't want a currency, I want a percentage. So when I click on it, you can see now it is in percentage. And if I want to increase the decimal places, I can by clicking this arrow key. And in case if I want to show any number into thousands or 100 places, so if I write, let's say, any number over here, when I press comma, it will count out that hundreds and thousands places. I can remove these decimal places as we have already discussed. Now these are the ways through which we can do the number formatting. Apart from that, the date format is also very important. I have written 20th of May 1980. Now this formatting I want to change. This is right now month, day and year format. If I want to change to any other format, I can go with all those ways which are format cells, or Control-1. So it will show me this box where it is date. So I can select any predefined format which are available over here. For example, this one, and I press OK. So it will show me the sample over here. So 20th May 80. So if I press OK like this. But I'm not satisfied with this. For example, I want to create my own format over here. So I'll press Control 1 and I'll go to custom. In custom, you can see the sample is coming, but I can over here I can type in. So let me remove it, and let's say I say that D, you can see the 20 is coming, DD / and then M, which is 5, again M, 05, again M, so it will define the whole month, / Y, so it will show me the year also. When I press OK, and there we go, we have this option with us. The formatting is available. Thank you. After setting up the worksheet, entering data, performing calculation, creating report, now it's time to print the report. We have this set of data that we are working on to print it. In this case, the best way which I can suggest you is always go with the print option directly. There we can see that what is lacking behind and what we need to improve. In this case, there are two options that we can go ahead with. The first one is either you can go with a shortcut which is Ctrl+P, else you can go to the File tab and there you can see the print option. When I click on print option, you can see a lot of options are coming. And here you can see the orientation of this, which is portrait or landscape, that you can choose upon, and else a lot of things. But before that, go into these options, just have a look at the preview that we are getting right now. We have in total 2 pages. The first page, if I click on it, this is the second page. Seems not correct, I think, because half of the smart art is coming over here and half is falling in the next page. So a lot of things that we can improve over here. So let's say instead of going to these options, everything is covered up in this page setup option. If I click on it, here we go. The very first tab is page tab, and this the orientation is giving. You can adjust the size of the font, which is 100% right now. You can change it. You can narrow it down a bit. That also seems fine. But as per my practical experience, you cannot go below 65%. That looks very small. If you have very small data which is coming on the next page, in that case you can click on fit one, so everything gets fit in single page. The second one is the margin part. This is very much important that you can size upon on the margins on left, right, top and bottom. Header and footer margins also. Right now you can see that there are a lot of spaces are coming right hand side. So in that case, instead of handling these margins, we can center the page. Just have a look. If I click on this horizontal and vertical, you can see the preview over here, and when I press OK, just see the impact. Now this is looking pretty cool. Instead of that, a lot of things that we can work upon, we have to go to the home tab first, and still few things are not matching correctly. Right now we are into the normal mode. We can go to the page layout or page break preview. If we go to the page layout view, this looks like this, but this is actually not a page layout. The best way to go with is this page break preview. Here you can see that customer is not coming in that range. So right now, if I go a bit down, you can see this is how it is happening. A kind of watermark that you can see is page 1 and below is page 2. And what I want is I want to take in this customer field also. So when I move my cursor towards this blue line, you can see the 2 headed arrow is coming. I'll click on it and I expand it to cover this customers also in my range. Now I'll go to the normal view, and here you can see this dotted line is coming. It means this is in there. When I press Ctrl P, now you can see that customer is also coming up. It is also a good option to set up the print area in advance. When we send a report to someone else, we can set up in advance so that the next person to whom we are sending the file will be able to print it very comfortably. Right now you can see that if I press Ctrl P, the area is coming like this, which is perfectly fine. But what if it is not coming correctly? In that case, for example, if I don't want that whole page to be my print area, in this case I want to be printed only till here, till the smart art. In that case, I have to go with this page layout, print area, set print area. And now if I press Ctrl P, this is coming like this, page 1 and page 2. A small portion is coming in page 2. So that's here that page break preview comes in. Here you can see that blue line again, which is denoting for page 2. So now I move my cursor over here, I drag it a little bit down and cover up this area also. Now I know the size of my font will decrease a bit, but I can see everything in single page like this. Thank you. When I try to print this report, I see a very clear problem. Have a look at it. When I press Ctrl P to see the preview of this data and I go to the next worksheet, I cannot see any kind of heading, which is very misleading. So that's why there is a very beautiful option which is available in Excel through which I can actually repeat the heading. I'll go to the page setup over here and I can go to the sheet, and here there is an option which is rows to repeat at top. Here how I can add it, I'll go to the home tab, rather I go to the page layout tab, and there you can see this print titles. If I click on it, it will show me an option which is highlighted right now, rows to repeat at top. When I click inside this, my arrow you can see is changed, and when I click on it, it will repeat this row again and again on the next pages, which is very handy. So when I press OK and I'll go to the print option again, Ctrl P, look at this, it is repeating. Pretty graceful. The second option which I want to share with you right now is putting header and footer. If I go to the page layout again, insert tab, you can see this header and footer option is coming. When I click on this header and footer, this comes into this page layout view. In here you can see the header. There is no header right now. I do have a lot of options over here. For example, if I want to show the page number, that is very common. If I click on this page number, it will show me the page number. But what if I want to see that page number 1 of 5, 2 of 6, like that. So I'll click it like this, page number, space of, space, number of pages. So when I click outside, you can see it is written as 1 of 2. Similarly, I do have a lot of options that you can put in. You can just check it out by yourself and you can see, because these are very straightforward and you can use them directly. In the same manner, you can come towards the footer part, you click somewhere and you can insert any footer that you want. Maybe the current date also. When I put it, click outside, it will show me the current date. So you can explore a few more options regarding this. Whatever you want to put it in, you can click inside and you can go to the design tab and you can see a lot of options are coming. Whatever you want to choose, you can go ahead with that. Thank you. Managing large set of data is another thing in Excel that we need to look at it. In this case, we do have a lot of data. The first thing that is very important is to navigate. Here, we are standing on A1 right now. And for example, if I want to go to the last filled cell in this sheet, I can press Ctrl down arrow directly. So I'll hit the last cell and then Ctrl right arrow like this. Or I could have pressed Ctrl end in my case. Else, if I want to go to the very first cell of this sheet, which is Control Home, so I'll be there. This is how we navigate it. And if you want to select the data till the end from the very first cell, either we select it using Shift and down arrow like this, which is a very tedious process. We'll actually have to spend a lot of time in that. Else the other way is using mouse. If I click on it and I start dragging it down like this, you know, it's again a very lengthy process. And sometimes what happens, I may go a bit down more, or I'll go up and then finally I'll select it. But it's again a very lengthy process to do it. That's not accurate. The best way is I'm going to the very first cell by pressing Control Home. I'll sit over there at that time and then I scroll down till the end without doing anything, and then I press Shift on my keyboard and then I click on the very last cell. So it will select till the end wherever I'm clicking right now from the cell where I was standing. So that is a click shift click technique which works everywhere in every MS Office program, and it's a universal shortcut. In the same way, if you want to select any column or any cell, this is by pressing the heading of that, like this. Now we know that how to navigate in Excel. Here we need to know about that how to shuffle in between the worksheets and how to insert and edit a worksheet. Here you can see a shortcut which is the best way to insert a worksheet, which is clicking on it and it will insert a worksheet for us. The other shortcut for this is Shift F11. If I press Shift on my keyboard and F11, it will actually insert a worksheet for me. Else, now this worksheet is there. What's a kind of a meaningless name that you can see? Either I can right click on this and I click on rename, else if I double click on it, I can select it and then I can rename it. For example, sales. And after doing this, I have to press enter so it will commit it. This is how we rename it. If you want to delete any sheet, for example this one, I'll right click and I can press delete. But remember one thing, as there wasn't any data in this case, it didn't ask for anything. But in this case, for example calls, we have some data in this. If I right click and click on delete, it will ask us. And if I delete it, I cannot undo it. So always think about it. It is permanently get deleted. So let me cancel it down. And in some of the cases, we need to highlight sheet tabs. So I can right click. You can see the tab color also like this. Maybe we kind of have some kind of discrepancy in this sheet, or we have already done this sheet. Any cases, if you want, you can highlight it. After that, you can remove the color also with no color. Sometimes this also happens. Then we need this same data, we need to copy this data to a different workbook or a worksheet. The best way to do it is not to open a workbook and then copy and paste it. Let me show you one thing. Let me insert a new workbook. For that, either I can go to the File tab and click on New, else I can press a shortcut which is Control N. It will open a new workbook for me. Then I'll go to the other workbook. I'll copy this data. How do I can copy the data? First I need to select it, which is pressing Shift like this and Control Shift down arrow. It will select everything. I'll press Control C and I'll go back to that worksheet. And over here, if I press Control V, see this. It's not coming in the same manner as it was earlier. So that is why we have to format it again. So better way is I'll go to that workbook again. Instead of copying and pasting it to that workbook, I'll right click on the sheet tab which I want a look-alike. There is an option which is move or copy. When I click on it, I can see that where I need to copy and paste it. I'll click over here. I say that I want in a very new workbook. So I'll click on this new book. I said that I want to create a copy of this. I'll check it and then I press OK. So it will open a new workbook for me and that sheet will get copied and pasted over here. This is the best method that everybody use practically in their work. Thank you.